ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओं। गणानां त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पदान शृण्वन्नोतिभिस्सेदसादनं प्रणो देवे सरस्वदेवाजेभिर्वाजिनेवते दीनामवित्रयवदो गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओं। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ जयन्ती मङ्गलकाले भद्रकाले कपालिनी दुर्गा क्षमा शिवदात्री स्वाहा स्वादा नमोस्तुते। ॐ शांति शांति शांति। Sairam Lin, Sairam from Malaysia.
Sairam Sharma, Sairam from New Zealand, and we welcome our listeners as always. We value your comments, and we always look forward to seeing what you have to say about our broadcasts. Thank you, Bhagwan. You have given us the permission to keep sharing your teachings and your wisdoms. In this uncertain Kali age, the age of quarrel, the age of iron, as it is explained in the Vedas, we search for your wisdom to get us through it, because it is actually, Swami said, even within the Kali Yuga, there is a mini golden age for those who take advantage of the special lifelines that I give. I liked this quote of Swami's because he described his teachings as a lifeline. And for anyone who is feeling the effects of this age, which can be called the age of confusion, the dark age, the age of quarrel, which means people would rather argue than just have a civil conversation, Swami is clear that his teachings will get us through. He said, you are all bobbing around in the sea of life and death in this Kali Yuga age. And I can't think of a more apt description, because that is how people I know all over the world have described it to me. They feel they are adrift, that they have lost their moorings, they have no anchor, they have no control over the forces that appear to be governing the world. They are not happy that there are wars, that there is so much poverty, there's lack of housing, and so on. And it will be the same in every country, I think. Even today, I turned over the newspaper and I saw 4 pages of businesses that are in liquidation, meaning they have failed. And this is one hallmark that Swami foretold to Mata Betty. He said, in these times, all man-made organizations, affiliations, corporations, companies will not function properly and will fall apart. And I was so surprised to even today see 4 whole pages of our city newspaper filled with companies that are in what we call bankruptcy or liquidation. Everything from pizza restaurants to building companies. And even our art galleries and museums are now at risk of folding. Things just aren't working the way they're supposed to. And if anyone has tried to navigate the health system, as I have and many of my friends, it is a long, long wait before you can get any kind of elective operation. However, as Swami said, within the Kali Yuga, there is this mini golden age for those who take advantage of his teaching. And indeed, the late Dr. Sarapavan used to say to me, then we are all bobbing in the sea of life and death. It is like being in a darkness, but we all have, as Sai devotees, a life preserver, and that life preserver is Sai Ram. He said Swami is like a great cruise ship on the horizon, strung with millions of twinkling lights, and he has a searchlight, and when he hears Sai Ram, he turns that searchlight on you in your life preserver, Sai Ram. He sends out the rescue boats, and you are hauled ashore, hauled on board, and taken back to the mothership, the Sai cruise liner. And that is what his teachings are for us. So let us take another look at the descriptions of the Kali Yuga. Because in our first talk, we named, as I said, there are well over 40 descriptions of it, and I gave some. And as the age of Kali winds down, which we are in the last gasps of it, I can assure you, that by next year, we will begin seeing big change. In fact, big changes are ahead for us this year, but this is going to be still 2024, a very bumpy year, a bumps and jumps, as Swami used to describe bumpy years. 2025, 26, and by 2027, we will begin seeing the glimmers of the golden age. Indeed, Swami said that even in the golden age, one powerful demonic person may temporarily wreak some havoc. But let's get back to the age that we are in now. And it's said in the Vedas that during this age, human beings will be short-lived. They will only live to, at the most, 50 to 100 years. Now, Swami has said that our proper lifetime in this age should be 100. But by using substances, drugs, cigarettes, alcohol, and wasteful and slothful ways, people shorten their lives. I'm always astonished when I see, when I'm out in the car and I see the cafes here full to the brim with people drinking large bottles of wine and smoking cigarettes, eating, because that is another quality that Swami said, that during the Kali Yuga, people's minds will be on their bellies, and eating, sleeping will be the order of the day. He said there will be non-existence of longevity, meaning a long life, good government, qualified priests, and ample natural resources, and only the congregational glorification of Bhagwan is known. In other words, the sound of Sairam, the sound of Gayatri, the sounds that Swami has prescribed. And the other thing about Kali Yuga is that plants and trees will not flourish because they will be struck by drought or be completely ruined by heavy rain. And we're seeing this with climate change. The citizens will suffer greatly from unusual cold, wind, heat, rain, and snow. And they will be tormented by quarrels, hunger, thirst, disease, and severe anxiety. Now, that is something I am certainly seeing all around me. The number of counselors in this country has rocketed, offering all kinds of cures for anxiety. And this is the maximum duration of life will be between 50 and 70 years. Most plants and herbs will be tiny, and trees will appear like dwarfs. Clouds will be full of lightning. Homes will be devoid of piety. And all human beings will have become like donkeys. Well, things aren't quite that bad yet. I can't say that I'm surrounded by donkeys. I don't know how you all feel. Swami used to use the word dhanapota, meaning water buffalo, when he felt that people were acting like animals. But indeed, that is another thing that we are seeing. And he said, in reaction to the disastrous nature of human society, the seasons become irregular and natural disasters become regular. He said that wealth alone will be considered the sign of a man's good birth, proper behavior, and fine qualities. Success in business will depend upon deceit. A person's propriety will be seriously questioned if he does not earn a good living, and those lacking money will even be judged unholy. Merely filling the belly will become acceptable as a proper goal in life, and society will regard any man who can adequately maintain his family as an expert. And he said, now I'm going to switch to the Vedas, which also gives some connection here with the Kali Yuga. He said the Vedas say women will have more children than they can properly take care of and lose all of their shyness. Well, I can say that happens here in New Zealand because many young women who do not complete school can go on a government benefit, and every child that they have, their benefit is increased. I know of young women who have had, well, they're not young anymore, they're in their 30s, but they have had up to 10 children, and they simply live off of the money that the government gives them because there's no other way for them to make money, and the children have no fathers, or the father may come and go, but there is no concrete family unit. And Swami often speaks of the Vedas. In fact, part of his mission is to bring back the Vedas and Sanatana Dharma. And he said consciousness is connected to processes in nature. And of course, by observing nature with a clear eye, a practiced eye, a conscious eye, we are experiencing God in all of his glories. But in the Kali Yuga, as the decline of humanity goes down, the whole ecosphere responds accordingly, and the functions of nature decline in effectiveness. The rains, sunlight, soil, and air become comparatively impotent, and their deficiency profoundly affects the supply of food, minerals, precious stones, and other natural resources. Now, all this sounds pretty depressing, I know, but this is what the Yugas are, just what the Kali Yuga is described at in the Vedas and Swami. So what to do? Well, we can look forward to the Sathya Yuga, but in the meantime, do we have to live a life of misery and pain? No. We can look at the description of the Sathya Yuga, which is just around the corner, but we also need to see Bhagwan as our life support. And he should not be a distant figure in the imagination, a picture in a book, perhaps a golden robe or orange robe moving in a video, something that we look at when we have a little spare time. He wants to be every breath of your life because he sees you every second. What many of us don't realize is that we are television for Swami. He is watching us every single second. He is the breath that is pushing in between the 9th and the 12th vertebrae in our back that's keeping us alive. We're not in control of that. He is. He said only God is in control of life and death. So knowing that you have that force behind you, which is Him, which is just one aspect of Him, pushing that breath into you, making you breathe, keeping your heart pumping, keeping your lungs inflating, keeping you moving, keeping you thinking. How can we not talk back to Him every second that we can? How can we not be aware that He is pulling our strings? That He, in fact, has said, I can make you think of me and I can make you forget me. Let us never, ever be in that state where we forget Him. He will never forget us, but He is the one who makes us think of Him. Loving Sai Ram to all, let us look forward every day to the golden age which is already within us, the Sathya Yuga, the age of Swami. And indeed, as we age through Him, with Him, all inside of Him. If we're not aware of this, we will experience decline. We will experience depression. We will experience saying, I don't know why I'm here. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm depressed. I don't know what to do with myself. Everything has gone to the dogs. Let's just close our eyes, go to sleep, eat some popcorn, drink some tea, stuff our bellies, and go to sleep. Let us stay awake, because at any moment, if you are aware, He will appear before you in a myriad of mysterious forms. Om Shri Sai Ram.
Om Shri Sai Ram. Om Tasmad Karunya Bhavena Rakcha Saishvara. Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Saishvara Arpanamastu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.